we want to sit up here and act like they need so much help. Quarterbacks would die to play for that team. Quarterbacks would die to play for that team, James, right? And then when you look at the Cowboys, it's like, yo, that's the best situation for a young quarterback to go to and play for. If you don't believe me, look at Brock Purdy.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboy Nation and angry Cowboy fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, the Angry Cowboys fan, bringing you this Dallas Cowboy content on the day of the 2024 NFL Draft. So if you're DC for life and want to help this channel grow even more, drop a like on the video, share this content, and please subscribe to the channel. On the eve of the 2024 NFL Draft, the talking heads over at Speak had something to say about the Dallas Cowboys, and what better topic to discuss than if the Dallas Cowboys should draft a quarterback in the first round. I'm pretty sure you know how the split went. 3 for drafting a quarterback and 1 for not drafting a quarterback. You won't have to guess because we're going to listen to the 3 clips that I got for you, and then I'm going to deliver my raw and uncut. So, angry Cowboys fans, let's listen to the first clip that I got for you.
Should the Cowboys draft Dak Prescott's replacement?
You mean right now?
Yes, sir.
Should have been did that.
Ooh.
I mean, same results, right? Great regular season. This year was even greater. Give him credit for that, but it's the same thing. They do well, and then they get to the postseason, and he shows up. Pick. So if you're asking me, I would definitely get his replacement. And even if it's not a first rounder, even a second rounder. I mean, the Cowboys showed you before that, hey, we get you a franchise quarterback, not in the first or second round. You can go later than that. And they did it with Tony Romo, and they did it with Dak Prescott. I just think like it's time. Every good thing comes to an end. I think my dad told me that. Anyway, Dak has done a good thing for the Cowboys, right? His time is up. It's the reason why they ain't paid him yet. What quarterback that has a second MVP running and an all-pro and don't get a contract extension? Right? That'll never happen.
Good question.
But when you have other great players that are greater than you on your team that you got to go out there and pay, and the main focus is always the quarterback, but every time it gets into the postseason, he shows up in a negative way. So if you're asking me, man, hey, man. Dak, your time is up.
Did y'all really think that Shady would have a different answer to tell us? Of course he would want the Dallas Cowboys to draft another quarterback because Dak Prescott owns the Philadelphia Eagles. During his tenure with the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott is 9-4 against the Philadelphia Eagles. If I were him, I would want us to draft another quarterback as well. This is the type of analysis you get when the analyst leads with his emotion and not facts. I've said this before, Cowboys Nation. The only thing that Dak haters can point to is that 2-5 record in the playoffs and blame it all on Dak Prescott. They can't come up with statistical facts to back up their hatred for our QB1. Not even the Dak haters in Cowboys Nation can do it. They will list names of quarterbacks whom Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys have beaten in head-to-head matchups just to bolster their argument. In the end, facts win every time. Shady, do me a favor. Taking Don Meredith, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, and Dak Prescott out of the equation, how many franchise quarterbacks have the Dallas Cowboys had since its 1960 establishment? I'll wait. It might take you a while. I could pick his responses apart, but we're going to move right along to the second clip that I got for you so we can get to my raw and uncut. In this clip, James Jones gives his response to the question. So we're going to take a listen to the only rational analyst on this show, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Let's go ahead, James Jones.
Draft a quarterback, James Jones. Should the Cowboys do it? Should they draft his replacement?
Not in the first round. We're talking first round?
Anytime. Any round. Should they draft his replacement?
No. Dak Prescott is going to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys we know this season.
Yes, sir.
You have a chance to compete at a high level this season. Go get you a player that's going to contribute this season and help your team win. We talk about it all the time. The Dallas Cowboys has had really good quarterbacks over the last couple decades in the National Football League, from Tony Romo to Dak Prescott, and they still have not gotten over the hump. Go out there and get you a really good player in the first round, get you some more good players in the second and third round to build up this roster. You need linemen. You need a third receiver. Who knows what's going to happen with CeeDee Lamb? You might have to take one of these receivers in the first round, and CeeDee Lamb over here telling you he's going to hold out, or you're going to have to pay him. So it's just some spots on their team that they need to fill. And right now, as we sit here at this desk right now, quarterback is not one of them. This is an all-pro quarterback. Anybody will take an all-pro quarterback on your team, and we're talking about drafting a quarterback for your replacement. I say no. Get those other pieces that you need to help your roster go compete and try to get over the hump this season.
Why is it James Jones is the only rational voice on this show? There are so many more needs on the Dallas Cowboys than to worry about the all-pro quarterback on your team. Left tackle, maybe? What about the center? We need a running back that can carry most of the load. Another linebacker? Maybe another defensive end. We have immediate needs on this team before we have to worry about replacing the quarterback. In the last clip that I got for you, Joy goes back to her confused state when Shady's on the set. Let's take a listen to her response, and then we're going to come back and unpack my raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, go ahead and listen to Joy McShady.
I mean, based off of what the Cowboys are doing, yes, they should draft his replacement. But based off of what they're saying, they should not draft his replacement. So what are y'all talking about? Because I really like to pay attention to what people do. That's more important to me. People say a lot, blah, 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 blah. What do you actually do? Well, what the Cowboys are doing is not extending Dak Prescott.
Yep.
Right? He's coming off of an all-pro season, was runner-up in MVP, had the best year of his career. It would be a no-brainer, as he said, we want Dak, we don't have to blink an eye. Don't have to blink an eye. Where's the extension? Where's the conversations? Where's the contract then? What you're doing is not matching what you're saying. So based off of what they're doing, yes, they should draft his replacement, because what you're doing is illustrating that you are planning on moving on from Dak Prescott, at best putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have to overpay or pay what the market is demanding for Dak Prescott, because he will be a free agent after this year, based off of what you're doing. So I'm confused. Can someone explain to me what the Cowboys' plan is? Because what they're saying is not matching what they're doing.
All I got from her analysis was, I'm confused. What's going on? Why are the Dallas Cowboys doing this? They obviously want to move on because they haven't extended Dak. Joy, do they want to move on from CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons as well? Dak Prescott is not the only one Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones haven't paid yet, but y'all want to talk about it as if he is. True hater conversation yesterday, guys. True hater conversation. Y'all ready for my raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. As y'all saw in the beginning of my video, Shady McCoy has no clue what the hell he's talking about. Talking about Dallas is a great place for a rookie quarterback and use Brock Purdy as an example. Dumbass. Brock Purdy wasn't drafted, nor did he play for the Dallas Cowboys. Did you forget what team you were talking about? This is what happens when you go on set and you lead with your emotions and not pure black and white facts. You talk out the side of your mouth and you look stupid while you do it. And Joy McShady, allow me to clear up your confused state, because it seems like when Shady is on the show, you slip into very easily a confused state. The Dallas Cowboys have zero leverage when it comes to Dak Prescott's contract negotiations. That has been reported by a number of your colleagues on FS1 as well as the rival ESPN. Judging from the Cowboys' past, they always wait until the last minute and then sign their players at crazy numbers because they want them to prove their worth. How many years have you been covering the league and you don't know this by now? Even a guy that has zero credentials can see this. It's funny that these professionals can't see Jerry and Stephen Jones employing negotiation tactics. The tactics they're employing are tactics that are used when you have zero leverage in negotiations. Hit pieces, slander in the media, telling the masses that they can't put pieces around the quarterback because of his money, saying that they want him, but he has to take a discount. These are all negotiation tactics that Shady McCoy, Emmanuel Acho, and James Jones should be aware of, seeing they made it to the NFL and have participated in said negotiations. I swear, it seems like when you retire or get kicked out of the league, some ex-players, they lose their memory. Some forget what it's like for them when talking heads gave them the business, like Bart Scott, Dan Orlovsky, and Shady McCoy, just to name a few. These analysts are talking about drafting a quarterback and developing said quarterback for the next season? So, we're going to draft a quarterback or a player who's not going to have any type of impact for our team this year. This is counterproductive for the goal of this year, and that's to shoot for an NFC championship and hopefully a Super Bowl. A goal that 32 teams start their year out with, not just Cowboys Nation. The buzz out there is that the Dallas Cowboys should draft Michael Penix Jr. as if it's going to be the savior of this team or something. People have the notion that if you draft a quarterback in the first round, you have a significantly better chance at winning a Super Bowl. I bet you Tom Brady would beg to differ, being a 6th-round draft pick and all. Kurt Warner would have something to say about that as well, being an undrafted free agent and all. How about these first and second rounders who didn't make a dent in the NFL? According to an article on Bleacher Report, there are few names of quarterbacks drafted in the early part of the draft who didn't make any noise in the NFL. Let's go ahead and name them. The Swiss Army knife in Pittsburgh, Cordell Stewart, 2nd-round draft pick. Only had one good season in the NFL. Our very own Quincy Carter, 2nd-round draft pick who only spent 3 years with the team that drafted him, our Dallas Cowboys. John Beck, 2nd-round draft pick. Great at BYU, but a bust in the NFL. Browning Nagel, 2nd-round draft pick turned journeyman. Michael Elkins, 2nd-round draft pick who finished his career with a 16.7 passer rating. Jason Campbell, 1st-round draft pick who had problems picking up the Washington, then Redskins offense and making plays. Dante Culpepper, 1st-round draft pick, put up great numbers in spurts, but never developed into the leader that the Minnesota Vikings needed to replace Randall Cunningham. I could name more players like Mitchell Trubisky, Tim Tebow, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater. But let's see who wasn't drafted in the first 4 rounds who led their team to a Super Bowl. Stan Humphries, 6th-rounder. Tom Brady, 6th-rounder. Kurt Warner, undrafted. Brian Johnson, 9th-rounder. That was back in the day. I didn't even know that they had 9 rounds in the draft. Rich Gannon, 4th-rounder. Matt Hasselbeck, 6th-rounder. Brock Mr. Irrelevant Purdy, 7th-rounder. These names show you that it doesn't matter where you draft your quarterback. You could draft the 1st overall pick of the draft and he not pan out. You could pick up an undrafted free agent and they lead your team to multiple Super Bowls. Remember the greatest show on turf? Same undrafted quarterback led the Arizona Cardinals to a Super Bowl. It certainly is possible. What makes the difference is the organization you're playing for and their willingness to spend money and draft capital in order to surround said quarterback with talent. The greatest show on turf wasn't just Kurt Warner. These narratives about drafting a quarterback high in the draft and only being able to make it to a Super Bowl while they're on their rookie deal is a farce perpetuated by the talking heads at the 4- and 3-letter networks, and casual fans latch on to it. Thank God for content creators. In closing, to answer the overarching question of the segment of Speak, there is no way in hell I would draft a quarterback with the draft situations that we have this year. We spent our 4th-round draft pick on Trey Lance instead of waiting until this draft to get a 4th-rounder. Now we're supposed to scratch that and get another quarterback, potentially wasting another draft pick? Cowboys Nation will get to see how Trey Lance will be during the offseason, but if I were the Dallas Cowboys, I wouldn't hang my hat on him to lead this team to a championship. At the end of this segment, even you guys said that. Go ahead and listen to it.
And Trey Lance ain't no belief in Trey Lance.
I think we would be hearing some buzz. I think we'd be hearing some tremblings.
The buzz I heard when he was saying Fran, they said he was awful. Before he even played, I said, yo, I heard he's awful. From my sources.
I ain't even have to hear it. I saw it.
No belief.
The picks we have need to be used for the holes that need to be filled before any quarterback comes to Dallas. Like I said in my previous video, you can have Tom Brady come here, and if he doesn't have an offensive line to block for him or a run game that the defense has to respect, that quarterback is a sitting duck, and he will be running for his life. So Jerry, Steven, as the draft starts today, don't listen to these analysts who say you should burn a high draft pick to draft a quarterback, especially one with a long injury history. Stop drafting these players who come in the league with current injuries. We need players who can leave the draft and hit the field on day one of the NFL season. Not a player who we need to ease into it because they're coming off a career-threatening injury. We already have to worry about two in Trayvon Diggs and DeMarvion Overshown. Let's add to this team so that the players don't feel like the pressure is all on them because no one of quality is on the depth chart. The Dallas Cowboys can draft BPA while also drafting for needs. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys fan. What did you think about the segment on Speak? Do you feel that the Dallas Cowboys should spend either of the first 3 picks on a quarterback? Let's have that conversation in the comment section. If you're digging the content and want to help get this content out to even more Dallas Cowboy fans, drop a like on the video and please share this content. It lets YouTube know that you appreciate this raw and uncut. If you're DC for life and want to help the Angry Cowboys fan reach its goal of 10,000 subscribers, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I go live, release a video, or a podcast episode. The NFL Draft starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you have your popcorn ready and tune into any of our wonderful Cowboys content creators who will be covering the event. I'll be at karaoke tonight, so I won't have any live coverage on day one. But make sure y'all tell me y'all raw and uncut on any of my social media platforms. The reason why I'm so critical of Speak is that Emmanuel Acho loves to bring hot takes, Shady McCoy loves to bring his emotions to the set instead of facts, and Joy McShady can barely formulate her own opinion without consulting with her workplace husband. If FS1 could take Speak back to the Speak for Yourself days with Acho and Wiley, it would be a much better show. This is your boy, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out.